It's joyous. I threw it on having no idea what I was in for. I didn't know the style. I didn't know where they were from. I didn't know anything. And from start to finish, I loved every track. Just about every track, I was like, no, this is my favorite one. No, this is my favorite. You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy.
And now, the hunt for the perfect album.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the hunt for the perfect album with Billy and Dave. How are you, my friend?
I am obviously in an outstanding mood because we're talking about some fucking great shit today.
Yeah, it was an album you threw at me today. I had zero background. I know nothing about it. Why don't you tell me what it is?
I just threw the word door at you about 3 or 4 times in a sentence
Pretty
and
much.
said, I'm giving you door by the Boys Next Door. And nothing else beyond that. I don't even think I told you what year or where the band were from or anything.
No, you absolutely did not. You
I'm
gave
such
me
a
no
trickster.
info at all. And I am just, I've been listening to this album all week. I'll tell you obviously what I thought about it soon. But I am literally just looking it up now. I had no idea that this was Nick Cave. I had zero idea. I didn't know they were Australian. I assumed they were British listening to it. I knew nothing about it.
So
I did not know that this is essentially the birthday party.
Yep, this is the birthday party before they went to England. So Nick Cave, Mick Harvey and Phil Calvert all met at Melbourne Grammar, I think it was, or maybe at art school after that. No, I think they met at Melbourne Grammar. And along with Nick's friend Tracy Pugh, they decided to form a band. And recorded an album around sort of 1977, 1978. And after they'd finished recording the album, they got Roland S. Howard joined the band as a kind of a new lead guitarist, and Mick Harvey moved over to fucking keyboard or something, or bass. No, Tracy was on bass, backup guitar or whatever he did. And Roland S. Howard joined as guitar and brought with him some songs he'd written, and they basically re-recorded the second half of the album. So the tracks, I think, the last 4 tracks on the album are the only ones that Roland Howard plays on.
Yeah.
But it's noticeable, I think, that those 4 were done later, and there's kind of more to them.
I mean, it all makes sense. I know that you're a huge Nick Cave fan. We've had Nick Cave on the show before.
He hates this album. Fucking
Really?
hates it. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Well, I like this so
we
much
were young
more than
and
I've
pretentious.
ever liked any Nick
I knew
Cave.
you would.
Because you knocked it out of the park. You knew what you were doing with this. This is one of the best albums you've given me.
Yeah, this is
it's
the
up
sort
there
of
with
post-punk that
Primitives.
you really...
Yeah.
And you can hear Roland Howard's love for television in those last 4 tracks.
Yes. It's post-punk, but it's also very jangly. It's joyous. I threw it on having no idea what I was in for. I didn't know the style. I didn't know where they were from. I didn't know anything. And from start to finish, I loved every track. Just about every track, I was like, no, this is my favorite one. No, this is my favorite one. And in the end, my favorite track is the last track.
Obviously.
This album from start to finish is
You
really
had
good.
heard the last track before, presumably.
Never.
What?
No, I'd never heard any of this. I didn't know anything about this. Oh, fuck, this is a fun album. It's post-punk, but it's very musical.
Oh, and you've got...
riffs are fantastic.
It's interesting in the kind of trajectory of kind of Cave's career, because
I never would have picked this as Nick
You've
Cave.
got-
This doesn't sound... Like, I like this 20 times more than I've ever liked any Nick Cave before.
That's... I knew you'd like it, but that's a surprise. Because you've got the same basic themes of kind of women and crime and death and Americana and the same shit that he sings about later in greater depth and more profundity and all the rest of it. But he's still sort of talking about the same stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll read you what he... I actually copied and pasted this because I thought it was fascinating. So we know he didn't like Henry's Dream because he thought it was a bit too polished and not raw enough.
Yep.
So what he said about Door Door: we were adolescents and very late developers. There was a period where we were confused and had a lot of problems, and we put out an album like Door Door, which is a product of all those things. I mean, it was a complete wet dream, that record. I hate it. It reeks of a band trying to be musically intelligent and write clever, witty lyrics. It's a complete wank.
Wow. You're wrong, Nick. This is such a punchy album too. It's so quick. It's only 10 songs and 30 minutes long, which might lead you to believe that the average song is about 3 minutes. But that's not true. Most songs on this album are under 3. You're looking kind of 2.5, and there's like 1 or 2 songs that are a bit longer that bump it up to that 30-minute runtime. Yeah. It just punches along.
And musically weird. Like, you've got kind of a surprising amount of synth in several of the songs, which you don't expect. I mean, for the era, sure, like 1979, synth on the rise, but not in this kind of post-punk stuff.
No, even bands like The Cure that obviously famously went on to be quite synth heavy. You listen to that first album, Three Imaginary Boys, which is very post-punk.
Is that the one with Forrest and...
No, that's later.
Oh, okay.
Boys Don't Cry is on that one, 10:15 on a Saturday night. Yep. It's very, very post-punk. There's no synth or anything on that album. Like, that album is... very much that. This album, it's very broad.
You've got kind of dirty southern saxophone on more than one track.
Yeah.
We just heard some unexpected woodwindy,
yes.
Which it's just, it gives it a really unique sound.
Yeah.
As Howard's guitars do on the last 4 tracks as well. In a similar way to Johnny Marr, for example.
Yeah.
You can pick his guitar.
Yeah. The first track that I really stopped and went, okay, no, this is my favourite one, which did hold for a while, is track 4, The Voice.
Yep.
You have the choice, you can be black or white. You are not tracked, you can rise or you can fall. It's not up to me.
There's that sax. And again, even the guitar on this, it's much janglier than what you would typically get in kind of post-punk and what you get on the rest of this album even.
And when you hear, I mean, I'm assuming you've heard some Birthday Party in the past.
I like the Birthday Party, I like the Birthday Party more than the Bad Seeds.
A lot more kind of, because they were smacked off their tits and living in a hovel in London and then in Berlin, so it's a product of its time. But you can both hear kind of the DNA going through, because it's all the same guys playing. It's not like the members changed or anything when they changed their name. They were just a couple of years older and living overseas. But you can hear the change that happened when they hit that London scene, and because they're literally, I think Roland Howard would have been 18 when he joined the band. Right. The others are a couple of years older, I think. But, they're 19, 20-year-olds fresh out of college in Melbourne. It's a very different environment. And I can kind of get Nick Cave looking back on it going, oh my God, we were such... we're like the Dead Poets Society. We're such pretentious wankers. Yeah. Whereas 2-3 years later... they're a lot more kind of world-wise, world-weary,
It's so interesting, though, to hear Nick Cave, who I do think is a pretentious wanker, particularly now, to hear him look back on an album like this and think it's pretentious. I find that really interesting.
I think he's... because what it is, reeks of a band trying to be musically intelligent and write clever, witty lyrics. So I think he's he's writing about the stuff he's interested in, but with it's all posture. He has no
Without that world experience,
or anything. He's regurgitating things that he's absorbed from William Faulkner and all of these other pretentious things that he's been reading as an art school student. Whereas 10 years later, he's been a heroin addict. He's been all of these things. You know, he's lived in the gutters of Berlin. Then he's writing from experience.
Yeah. So, what's your favourite track from the album?
Oh, it's got to be Shivers. Shivers is one of when we, as you know, spoilers for a future episode. We are organising a Monster Australia Day episode with a few friends from other shows from Down Under, where we will be finally doing some favourite Aussie songs. May or may not make an appearance.
That's gonna be a fun, tough list, actually.
Yeah. But interestingly, and I always laugh when I see reviewers talk about, you can see the potential of the great lyricist that Cave would grow into in Shivers, because he didn't fucking write it. Roland S. Howard wrote Shivers at the age of 16, 2 years before he joined the Boys Next Door when he was in the Young Charlatans. And he wrote it as a humorous song. It's meant to be tongue-in-cheek. It's meant to be a bit dry, cynical humour, and can't remember who it was. Not Tony Cohen. I can't remember who was producing, but at the time when Howard came on and they threw out the second half of the album and redid the side 2 and put in Shivers, and whoever was producing wanted Roland Howard to sing, because he said, you can do your words better, and Nick insisted that he was the singer and he was going to do it, and he has later said, I should have let Roland sing that. I was not up to those lyrics and I didn't do them justice. But Roland Howard reportedly was a bit unhappy because the whole tone of the song changed in the way Nick delivered it. It is not a humorous song the way it's on the album.
Yeah, well, I'll leave that to play the show out on. But it's interesting to hear that those last 4 songs were, because I thought the back half of this album was particularly strong, particularly the final 3
you've got an extra guitar
tracks.
in there, and it's from, like, Roland Howard is one of the greatest Australian guitarists of all time. Sadly not with us anymore. He had, I think he had hepatitis. He died from liver failure or something about 15, 20 years ago, I think. But a phenomenal guitarist with a really unique sound, and you can hear the difference when you've got. And
they are also 100% the longest tracks. They're the least punky on the album, particularly the final 3, like starting with Die Position, which I think is a great track. They do get progressively longer and less of that kind of post-punk sound to them.
Almost dark in a dive position. My disposition, I shouldn't have fought it all. Draped in shame, she runs the gauntlet
Not a big fan of this album. I honestly, 9 out of 10.
Nice.
This is going to make it deep into my rotation. Not just like certain tracks. I have a playlist called Perfect Albums that I keep the ones that I'm putting for the show and also the ones that you've given me that I think truly are perfect.
Everything I've given you?
Well, but this is going onto that playlist, which more often than not is what I listen to. I just hit shuffle on that. So, yeah, big fan.
Give us a bit of after a fashion before we go out with Shivers, because that's probably my second favourite.
Okay, yeah.
And this is the one where you can really hear his love for television. This is it's so close to the opening of Marquee Moon.
Yeah.
Set my mouth on fire and kiss
really good album.
You know what it is with those last four, and it's probably the extra instrument in there, but you get a real sort of Phil Spector wall of sound with those last four,
it's a bit
where
more
there is no
stadium-rocky.
silence. There is always something, usually multiple things happening. Whereas the first half, more traditional. You've got breaks, you've got beats between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
thought about that.
All right. Well, next week, I know what I'm giving you, and it is, I would say, not a million light years away from this.
Okay.
I'm going with a band that we've spoken about a lot and that I know you've been waiting for me to give you. I think that several of your family are fans of the band and want you to listen to it, and you've been waiting for me.
Is this the one that I thought was Australian based on the name?
Yes, that is correct. I'm giving you what I would say Britpop meets punk. Anyway, the Wombats. I'm giving you their debut album, A Guide to Love, Loss and Desperation.
Ooh, what a cheery topic.
Yeah, well,
Sonia,
honestly,
literally, I think I said to you, Sonia's been saying for weeks now, have you listened to the Wombats? I keep
think
telling
you're
you
gonna
you'll like
really
them. And
dig it.
My response is always, Billy's going to give them to me on the show. I can't cheat and listen to them beforehand. I need to wait. And she's been, well, tell him to fucking hurry up.
I think you're really going to dig it because it is so...
I know. Is this the one that I know? Because I know one Wombats song because the kids have played it. Yeah, the dancing to
Joy Division. Yeah,
Yes.
that's on this album. Yeah,
Okay.
And that it's a great example because this album is so fun and exuberant, and it challenges you to dance. And yet, if you actually listen to the lyrics, most of the lyrics are very kind of somber and depressing, and unrequited love and all that. So it's
I like that.
It's very enjoyable. I think you're really, really going to dig it. So that's what I'm throwing at you next week. In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at pottymouthradio.com or pottymouthradio@gmail.com. Go and join the Facebook listener community, subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. And I'm going to play us out with Shivers.
The real one, not the shitty Screaming Jets cover where Dave Gleason got the words wrong. This is a bugbear that I've had for 30 years now. How do you do a cover of a song and get the lyrics wrong? Fuck you, Dave Gleason.
I've been contemplating suicide, but it really doesn't suit my style. So I think I'll just act bored instead, and contain the blood I would have shed. She makes me feel so relieved. My heart is really on its knees, but I keep a poker face so well that even mother couldn't tell. But my baby's so vain, she is almost a mirror, and the sound of her name sends a permanent shiver down my spine. Down my spine. I keep a photograph against my heart, for in my life she plays a starring part. All alcohol and cigarettes, down my spine.